we can fund twice as many people.
Wow. And the gift that you give, or the help that you give, what does it average per ticket?
Well, you know, it's gone up and down as the economy has changed. About a year or so ago, it was about $350 a month. It's up a little bit this year, $500 a month or so. But what's really fascinating is not what it costs, but what it returns. You know, what we've figured out is that this type of philanthropy is really more than just making a contribution. It's actually an investment in the lives of people who otherwise are going down the drain, right? I mean, if you don't step in and do something compassionate, they're going to lose what they've worked for and what little they have. And so what we found out actually by looking at all of the data is that that $500 grant that we make one time actually ends up generating in the month that we make it about $900 in earned income, provided we can keep the family just gainfully employed wherever they are, and keeps generating that $900 or so a month in additional income over and above what they would make, say, if we did nothing and let them end up in the conventional social service system, basically every month that they continue to work. So in the first month that we make that $500 grant, ends up being worth like $1,400 to the family that we help, and then an additional $900 a month or so every month thereafter.
So like if they can get to the doctor and keep their health, they're able to keep working. If they can get the alternator fixed on the car, they're able to keep working. That's the type of thing you're talking about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And these are small grants, but they have tremendous life-changing impacts.
So I'm guessing the applicants aren't just people that live beyond their means, that haven't gone out and just spent willy-nilly, but so why do you think these people aren't able to cover some of these emergencies?
Well, I think it's just a matter of the type of demographic that we're reaching. I mean, you know, our average applicant is a single parent. You'd be, you know, usually when you hear that, you think of single moms, but you'd be amazed at how many single fathers we hear from, raising a couple of children, and, you know, they're making $34,000, $35,000 a year. So they're disqualified from all of the different types of assistance that we have out there. We have a great social network, as you know. They're disqualified from all of that because they're out there working. And, you know, by the time they're paying $500 a month for rent and, you know, their daycare, their food, their utilities, what, you know, most of them don't have, you know, a lot of credit card debt because they can't get credit cards, you know, in a lot of cases, or what little they have is just not, you know, it's not significant. So really they can't save because their jobs are such that they just make enough to get by, and that's it. And so when these emergencies come up, they don't have, it's not a matter of, you know, where, you know, can I dip into my emergency fund, because they haven't had the ability to save it. It's a matter of, okay, my car's broken, what's the bigger gamble? Not fixing my car and losing my job, or not paying my rent and potentially losing our housing. And that's how people end up in the cycle of poverty, and that's what we exist to stop.
Wow. At $500 a pop, $33.5 million. That's a lot of applications that you guys are administratively dealing with.
Well, 3.5 million. You know, not 33.5, 3.5.
Oh, I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
Let's not get people crazy. But no, 3.5 million. It's a lot of applications, but we do everything online so we can streamline our operation. And actually, the turnaround time is very, very, very fast. New applications, we let people know initially whether it looks like they might qualify for our help within a day. And by the time they return documentation to us, we get substantial documentation from everybody that we consider assisting. And we have about a 2-day turnaround time on the new applications where people have actually given us the documentation. So, yeah, it's a lot of work.
So what percentage of people that apply actually get their grant or get the help that they're asking for?
Right now, it's running about 58%, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. That is, and if we got it to 33.5 million, it'd be.
we'd get them all. Well, you know, just to give you a sense of, you know, it's funny, but I looked today before I came. Do you know we could fund every single person? We have 20-something pages of applications at 20 a page. So is that 400 active applications right now? They can be funded for $300,000 total. Right? All of those people changed for $300,000. Wow. So, you know, in the scope of life, I mean, obviously $300,000 is a significant sum of money, but, you know, that's not that much in the scope of the world and everybody, you know, that we know.
Probably take care of that tonight just by you being on the Dave Ramsey
Well,
show.
let's hope so. That would be great. That would be great.
Tell me some of the stories, some of your favorite stories of the people you've helped.
I'll tell you one that I think will resonate with you especially. This is one of my all-time favorites. A woman applied for help from us back, I think, in 2004. And basically, she lived in California. She had been underemployed or sort of marginally employed for years and years and years, and had finally gotten a real job, a good job, okay? And the problem was that it was a union job, and she had to pay union dues in advance in order to take the job, right? So this was really cheap, $200 and something, $220. But the problem was she had to pay it before she could start working, and if she didn't pay it, she couldn't get the job. So this is our typical applicant, right? A catch-22. She's done everything she's supposed to do, and she needs $220 or so to start a real job. So there's not an organization that will do that. So she applied for our help, and we got all of the documentation. Our donors funded it because, you know, our donors choose. You know, they select the applicants that they're gonna, you know, that they want to help. So we funded that, and I didn't hear from her for some time. You know, she made some contributions, and she kind of dropped off the radar. A few years down the road, I'm just thinking to myself, because, you know, we stay in touch with the folks that we work with. We're interested to know what happened to them. And I called this woman up. I tracked her down. I called her up, and I said, so, you know, what's been going on? And she says, listen, I'm really happy to hear from you, Dr. Taylor. I just have a couple of minutes, but I'll tell you what happened. I said, well, so we got that job, and I was promoted, and I was promoted, and I was promoted, and I took that experience, and I left, and I got a better job. And I was promoted and promoted, and the reason I can't talk to you right now is because I'm on my way to close on my first house, a condo in Oakland, California, right? Over a $220 grant, you know? And that's a life-changing experience, and it's good for the donors, too.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. The website, folks, and you need to be donating to this one. It's good stuff. modestneeds.org. modestneeds.org. Well, Dr. Keith Taylor, honored to have you back with us. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Hey, folks, to apply to become a donor now, do what I just said. Go to the website at modestneeds.org. And and just go over there, check the website out, see what they're doing. This is real stuff. I've known this guy for years. He's been on all the major media, and this is quality stuff. Living like no one else, so later you can give like so later you can give like no one else. More of your calls and emails coming right up. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Dave Ramsey Show on the Fox Business Network.